Hey everybody, welcome back to Beyond the Blur. If she's your first time here, I'm Shima, and I help those adjusting to their vision loss build confidence and independence, and also help you with your emotional and psychological part of the vision loss journey. But today, I'm going to be talking about white king confidence. You know, what that looks like, and giving you an idea of how to have a 7-day plan to build confidence in using your white cane. So when I first started using my white cane, it was weird. Like when I started using my white cane when I went and got services from the lighthouse. So the first thing that they did when I got there was connecting me with an OT person, OEM person that helps you with your white cane. And he immediately started, talking about measuring me for the white cane. Did I want this kind of tip? Did I want that kind of tip? And I was like totally, blown back, overwhelmed. I had no idea what it was talking about, what I was supposed to want and like. And he talked about the white cane because up until that point, did not have a white cane. Didn't go and just buy one, and so I went there, and he gave me a lot of instruction about it. So, I'll preface this video by saying that I think the important part is for people really to get proper training, OEM training with your white cane, and have someone who is trained, a professional, do drills and exercises with you to help you get used to using your white cane. Okay, so on to this video, and a lot of times, let's talk about the white cane. Let's get real about it. So for most of us, especially in the beginning, the white cane seems to be a symbol of announcing to the world that we're visually impaired, we're blind, that we need this help. And we have a certain emotional feeling about it. We may feel embarrassed and like people are staring at us and looking at us like we're some kind of freak of nature, or we're weird or something. And so a lot of times we don't want that stigma, and so we choose not to carry it. But instead of thinking that way, think of it as a tool, for you, a tool for your independence, a tool for your freedom, and getting around and doing some of the things that you want to do on your own safely, right? So, think about that. So, but in this video, we're going to talk about some ways you can start building your confidence. So I'm going to do this a little different. So I'm going to walk you through some of the things that I went through at first when I went through training. So I was set up, and I was kind of excited a little bit to get this white cane. I didn't know what it was going to be like, what that looked like for me. And I got to pick out the color. I got to pick out the type of tip I wanted. I mean, down here at the bottom and everything. Whether I wanted a round one or a marshmallow. I chose the round one because I have a little sensitive nerves in my hand sometimes. So when it's a buffer. It provides a little bit of a buffer for me if you're walking the cement and everything with it. And so I didn't like the feeling it gave my hand. And so he tested me for that. He measured the white cane for me to make sure it was the right height and everything. He also wanted me to see what tip I used, the marshmallow or whatever, and explained to me a lot about how to use it. And so it made me feel more comfortable. And I tell you, in the next time when I was coming to the lighthouse, we were going to walk outside. And I tell you, initially I was kind of freaked out. I was like, I think I was thinking about not going that day for training because they were going to have me walking down the sidewalk. We started off by walking the neighborhood, right? Walking down, and they were going to walk through the neighborhood. I was like, we're going to walk through the neighborhood. And all I could think about, and being honest here, all I could think about is, who's going to see me? People are going to see me. I remember thinking, oh my God, people are going to see me with this white cane. What are they going to think? They're going to know that I'm blind or visually impaired. Heaven forbid, right? Just imagine that. And I know I'm not the only one. Don't try to leave me hanging. You know, that's the thing about the white cane. We don't want people to see us with the white cane because we believe that the white cane is a signal, is a symbol, not signal, a symbol of blindness. That the fact that we are blind and we can't see, and might be something wrong with us. But I need you to start thinking differently about your white cane and why you need to use it, why you should use it, and how it can help you when you use it. So let's go through this 7-day confidence builder, okay? We're gonna go through 7 days and how to build your confidence in using your cane, getting used to using your cane, and even getting acclimated with using it, okay? Because unlike me, I went to a class and every week we did cane training. It was something different. And so they introduced something new to me, going out in small spaces, learning how to walk upstairs first, learning how to sweep. The sweep is what we call when you're using your cane from left to right. You know, taught me how to do that, how to go downstairs, how to come upstairs, you know, how to walk through, hallways and locate things. So I had the opportunity to do that, but some of you may not have that opportunity to go to a class, or maybe you just choose not to. So I'm going to go over I'll give you a quick 7-day plan that you can implement to help you get used to using your white cane. All right, so day 1, we're going to get out with a cane, okay? And I don't know about you, I want you to decide on how you want to use your cane. You can hold your cane with one way with your hand. Think about how you're going to hold your cane. Are you going to hold it with your thumb on top of the flat part when you're holding it to guide you, or are you the ones you want to hold it like this with your finger on top? Decide on what's comfortable for you. It's not wrong or right. Nothing's wrong or right. It depends on what your preference is, what you're more comfortable with. I personally like to hold mine with my thumb on the top of the flat part of my cane. That's just more comfortable for me. Control. I don't like doing it the other way with my finger. I don't like that. So whatever. So day 1, what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk around our house with our cane, right? We're gonna get acclimated in just using our cane, getting our rhythm together, how we sweep and how we walk, from left to right. If you don't know how to do that, I'm not an OEM trainer, right? But I can give you a couple of tips, as you're sweeping. So your cane is going the opposite direction of your foot. So if you're stepping with your left foot, right? Your cane is going to the right, and that's your rhythm. Right. Boom, boom. And in your house is where you're going to get your rhythm, how you're going to learn how to get comfortable with the sweeping, motion of your cane, and just getting comfortable with walking with it. And that's what I did. Even though I went to classes, I still came home and I had to practice. I had to practice going upstairs with my cane, coming down the stairs with my cane, locating things, how close am I? How wide should I be sweeping my cane? How far should it go out? So, at home, day 1, you're going to start practicing, working with your cane, using it, holding it, and sweeping it. Okay, day 2, we're going to go outside our home. Yes, I said outside. You're going to go outside. Nowhere far yet, okay? Day 2, we're still getting acclimated, but you're going to add an outside area, something familiar, whether it's your driveway, the path right in front of your house, somewhere really close. Now you're going to go outside and you're going to use your sweeping method, your motion. You're going to get your rhythm together, more comfortably, more naturally as you're walking on the sidewalk, you're walking down your driveway, right? This is how we're going to do it. And you're going to do that up and down your driveway. Yep. People are going to see you. With your white cane. And that's what it is. And that funny story, my OEM instructor, she was like, Yashima, I can come to your house. And this is the beginning stages of my vision loss and training with white cane. He said, I can come to your house, and do it for you. And we can walk around your neighborhood and do this. And I said, what? No. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to come here and do it. Because in the beginning, there was no way in hell that I was going to let anyone in my neighborhood see me walking with a white cane. That was just a clear indicator that I was blind. And I wasn't going to do that. And I'm talking you through this because I know the feeling of that. I know, what it feels like to be ambivalent about it, to feel initially embarrassed or ashamed of it, or whatever you want to call it, whatever emotion or word or verb or adjective you want to put with it. But I know what that feels like because I was like, no, we're not gonna do it at my house. We're just gonna do it here, and I'll practice at home. I promise. So yes, we're going outside. Your neighbors are gonna know. If you haven't told them, they're gonna see this. Maybe they won't see it. Maybe they're too busy minding their own business, working, playing video games, cleaning their house, cooking food for their kids. They're not paying any attention to you. So don't worry about it. Okay, so that's day 2. You're gonna go outside your home in a familiar little space. Okay, now day 3, we're gonna add a little more depth to our sweeping and our walking motion with our cane. Now, I want you to do something very simple, whether it's walking, up the block, walking to your mailbox, with your cane, walking around the block with your cane, something like that. If you're in the neighborhood, maybe in what houses and streets inside of there, nothing busy. This is right here, still close to home in your neighborhood. You may go and maybe cross the street, maybe one street, like, walking straight, not crossing over the traffic. Okay, necessarily, but getting to the end of a sidewalk and kind of checking out the motion, what that feels like, and getting acclimated to sounds. What does it sound like when you're walking and someone's footsteps are coming? A dog barking, someone skating, skateboarding, riding their bikes. What do cars sound like when you're walking? Can you hear them coming? As you're getting to the end of the block of your street, do you hear them coming? Do you know what direction they're coming from? Are they coming from the right? Are they coming from the left? Are they coming towards you or coming behind you? Start getting acclimated with sounds because if you go to training, what they'll tell you is, and what you'll learn is that in the important part about learning to walk and get used to your cane is understanding that you're going to have to listen to what's happening around you to give you cues when to cross the street, when a dog is coming, when someone is walking behind you. So it's very important to start getting used to that. All right. So I think I'm on day 4. Day 4, let's add some people. Ooh, we're getting into the good stuff now, y'all. We are gonna add some people to it. Now let's go to a light traffic area, okay? So that means maybe going to the grocery store or a local store or a park or somewhere where there's light traffic, light people, okay? I don't want you to go to the grocery store on a busy Sunday at 11 to 12 o'clock when everybody and their mama is at the store grocery shopping. Don't do that. We're not doing that right now. I want you to build confidence. I don't want to scare the heck out of you, okay? So now go to somewhere where it's light traffic. Maybe you can go to the grocery store in the early morning, when no one's really there, yet, and kind of get an idea, build your confidence in walking through your local neighborhood store. We have Publix and Walmart close to us. I also have like maybe a CVS, which is kind of cool, or a Walgreens or some kind of drugstore that may be a little easier, or a cafe. Starbucks or somewhere like that. Get sometimes in the middle of the day when it's not that much traffic, or just kind of, walking through there. Now, what are you doing when you're walking through there? You're not just walking through there just because, you want to learn how to walk through and navigate through the grocery store. I want you to pay attention to what people are doing when you're walking with your white cane and how that makes you feel. Are they watching you when they're looking at what you're doing? And maybe they are, but I want you to know that they're not looking at you as like you're some kind of diseased person. Most people are looking because they're curious. We may think that being a visually impaired person, a blind person, that there's something that people see all the time and they are accustomed to engaging with a person who's blind or visually impaired. And that's not true. It's just not true. People don't always see blind people. And when they do, maybe they, oop, I'm about to knock my camera down. And if they do, maybe they see them on television, or maybe they see them from afar, maybe sitting somewhere or doing something. They may not necessarily see them in motion. So don't get so caught up, because they're probably just, going about their normal day. They're in a grocery store just like you. They're grocery shopping just like you need to grocery shop. So they don't necessarily have time to be really worried about what you're doing. But they may look and say, oh, she's blind. He's blind. Oh, she needs to walk with a white cane. And some curious looks, okay? And notice what that happens and how that makes you feel inside. And just think about it and take note of it, because that is a part of what we go through when we walk with our white cane, building that confidence of what we think about what people are seeing and what they're thinking when they see us, right? Okay, and so now what am I on? It's day 5. We're going to step it up. Now I want you to move into a more of a high traffic area, somewhere like where there's a park, walking around your neighborhood, where you're going to need to cross crosswalks, maybe cross the street. Now, I don't want you to necessarily do this by yourself if you've never done this before. Disclaimer, I want you to use your sighted family member or somebody, a friend, your partner, whatever. Don't go out here and do it by yourself. In all of these stages of building your confidence, it's okay to bring someone along with you and to help you. Don't just think you have to jump all in this and do all of these days by yourself, especially when we're going somewhere, out in public. You don't have to think you have to go and get in an Uber or, and have someone just drop you off and, you're on your own. Don't do that to yourself. Remember, baby steps. We're building our confidence up. We're not trying to jump out there into the middle of the water and we can't swim yet, right? Don't do that. Okay. But so day 6, I want you to sit back and reflect, reflect on how this experience has been. You walking around, the neighborhood, you walking in Publix, or your local Walmart, your local supermarket, corner store, whatever, wherever you're going, and walking around with light foot traffic and people watching you, and you trying to get acclimated to what it looks like and what it feels like to just walk and freely by yourself without assistance or little assistance, right? It makes a difference. It builds your confidence up, And day 7, I want you to celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. No matter how small the win has been this week, I want you to celebrate it, because it's major. It takes some of us, a long time to get to the point where we can walk with our cane in public around people, because of fear of what it's going to say about us, fear of what people are going to think about us. But I want you to reframe that mindset. I want you to think about what the white cane really represents. It doesn't represent weakness. It doesn't represent someone who's incapable of doing something. It doesn't represent someone who's, fearful or scared to be out here on their own. It represents freedom. It represents your independence. It represents your ability to move forward in your life and, tackle some tough things on your own by yourself, by walking through the store, by even just, getting acclimated to it. Even if you don't get past day 1 or day 2, because that's your comfort level. Save this video. Go back and finish up day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and then celebrate it. No matter how long it takes you, because we're not racing, we're not in competition with anybody. We're only in competition with rebuilding ourselves and what we need to do that. Okay. So make sure, if you like this video, if it was helpful for you, I want you to make sure you like and subscribe to my page, and please share this with someone who needs to hear this, who needs this information. And again, I'm not an OEM, trainer. I'm just here trying to give you some tips on helping you build your confidence in using your white cane, because I know some of you go out and buy your white cane just on your own. You don't get it from a community resource in your neighborhood or your area. You may go order yours on on Amazon, or you may go to a local store somewhere and get it, or your doctor may get it for you, and you get your cane without training. Nothing's wrong with that. But hopefully these tips that I gave you, your 7-day plan on how to build your confidence, will help you jump out there and feel more comfortable the next time you take your solo trip or your trip with your family to the grocery store. And maybe you have more confidence to get off of their arm and use your white cane and navigate the store yourself. Take care. Thanks for watching Beyond the Blur, and come back next week for some more information, some tips on how to build your confidence and live more independently as a visually impaired or blind person. Toodles!